Any second now.
I'll start in the dark. There we go, let that be live. So we have a little window of like 8 to 10 minutes to have a short Q&A before the next block starts. But we would like to have to give the makers, two of the makers that are here for the two films, a little opportunity to introduce themselves and talk about their film. So a big round of applause for Carice van Heusden and Antonia Ackermans. Well, those were the first two films, the Bome and Float. The Float. Okay. So I'm going to ask you a few questions quickly, and I will also look into the audience if they have burning questions for you. Well, before answering my question, if you would briefly introduce yourself and the film that you have made. So moving to Carice van Heusden. The film feels like a silent elegy, a poetic piece, where the trees seem to carry a weight of emotions. What inspired you to create this story, and why did you choose this specific visual storytelling?
So I quickly introduce myself first. So I'm Carice. I'm currently based in Brussels, where I study at the Ritz School of Art. And to come back to your question, it started from a personal experience. And I think the starting point of the film was feeling struggles and feeling an incompetention in ways to translate those emotions to words, at least. And that's why I started to search for images, search for sounds that could translate that feeling that was isolating. And for me, nature always had this healing power. And that's why I wanted to use the trees and the woods as well to give this healing nature back to Alula in the film.
Of course, we see a very a difference in the film. Like there was different areas, different locations as we speak, which represent Alula's, I think, mental or emotional state. Could you explore a bit more about that?
What for me was super important in writing the script was the fact that while I experienced something of my own, is that, as she says in the film as well, that there's not something as a present anymore. Reality fractures a bit, and you relive memories from the past and stuff from the future intertwines, and everything becomes this mingle, which makes it super difficult to be in the here and now and to communicate in a way that people perceive as realistic and normal. So that was the thing that led me to writing the script as well, and for me it was really important that there was no logic, like no linear narrative logic in the film, because that's also not how trauma works. There's no strict lines around how you can guide yourself through the process of trauma work. So how I wrote the script as well was super through my intuition, actually. And the script became a puzzle in itself, actually, because you indeed have like the three worlds, or like three stages of the trauma world and experience of the trauma and the reality.
Yes.
And then you can question what is reality. And the point where they meet each other. And the script became a puzzle, like you have point A, B, C. And I think within the editing, everything got mingled again.
Very nice and interesting to see. Moving on the theme of intertwining locations, as we saw in Float a clear difference between like an urban circumstance and a vast field. which you also saw the screen changing with it. How did you come up with this concept, and if you could briefly introduce this concept?
Well, my name is Antonia, Antonia Ackermans. I'm a filmmaker based in Amsterdam. And similar to you, I also find nature very healing. And I think for me, the film played a lot with mental health and the other perspectives on how to deal with it and how to move through it. And I always find it nice to cling to a little spark of hope and work towards it. So I think for me, I want it to be a very active journey towards trying to find that little piece of happiness. So yeah, that was kind of the movement.
Okay, so one other question of mine was like the animated butterflies. Would you say that represents the spark of happiness within the
I think so. I think I wanted to be abstract, and therefore it was like a not realistic butterfly. And I thought kind of giving it a bit of a odd sound design also added to taking away from reality a little bit. As you said earlier, the kind of the screen changing side is also supposed to represent kind of, you know, getting more perspective on life when you get into a clear headspace. Kind of everything becomes wider and better to see.
The main actress delivers a very powerful, without any dialogue. How was the process of directing her in that sense?
I mean, she was brilliant. So she's actually a model, and this was her first acting experience. And she was great. She's super into poetry and music, so we really worked on kind of what music and what words kind of worked with the feelings in different scenes, and then kind of used those to guide the acting performance, rather than, because I can't write dialogue, so I was like, we're not talking about that. So yeah.
Okay, I'll quickly look at the audience. Any burning questions from your side?
I have a question.
Sure.
So for both of you, in the process of making a film like this, which to me seems like there's maybe also some heavy feelings behind it, or like at least deep feelings, is that a process for you to take? I'm curious about the time process kind of. Is it something you come up with and then you could make it tomorrow potentially, or is it more something that needs to simmer for maybe months or years before you can begin to kind of grasp what you want to make actually?
You want to go first?
You go ahead.
Okay. For me, it took a long time because I also wrote the script simultaneously to my own drama work, and actually because I'm still studying at school as well, and I stopped school to make this film, and I think in total it took me 2.5 years, 1 year of writing on and off, but also needing to take distance from the script because it's also super personal. So I think the time was needed to also detach myself from the character, from the script, and exactly the same happens in the editing process as well. I think we took half a year editing, going back, and I think for me that was really important to give the film space to breathe as well, because it's a lot to take in and it's heavy feelings, and I think you can lose yourself very easily within heavy topics, and especially if it's something you relate to yourself. And it's important to let yourself breathe, to let the film breathe as well, I think.
For me, it was kind of opposite. I think I was writing the film for a couple of years, and then I had my own trauma happen, and I was like, make the film right now, use it as your life off. So that's kind of, it then sped up the process for me almost in that way. But yeah, so I guess different ways.
I hope that answers your question. Any future projects of the both of you that we can look forward to?
I just finished the day before yesterday my graduation film for school, my bachelor film.
Well, congratulations.
So that is going to be shown the 22nd of May in Brussels.
Okay.
And I'm also working on a new project now, which is going to be more a hybrid documentary in the form of a video installation. So something completely different.
Interesting. Okay. Antonia?
I'm working on a documentary at the moment on like non-traditional farmers.
And do you have any kind of time span? When can we expect it?
Well, I'm hoping to shoot kind of from August until October, and then hopefully edit. So next year, hopefully something.
Okay, thank you. And with that, I would round this up for people to have a quick bathroom break because the next block will start in a few minutes. So thank you all for listening and see you